Hi folks, welcome back to Year of Mbira. It's Andy here with week 6, video 6, and this is Faithful Foundations. So last week we concentrated more on the right hand, and this week we're looking at some options in the left hand. I'm going to start off with some improvisation just to show you the kinds of stuff that you might have in your hands now from following the material so far. Hopefully to inspire you as well to carry on and pursue the lesson, today's lesson. I'm going to give you some new tricks, new ways of thinking to force yourself into some creative corners. So last week I played progression 6 and I was playing my beat and my pairs in position 1, and then I've had a little small right hand part where I'd reduced the note range down to these 5 notes, and I was playing on the first and third beat of each chord. Sounded like something like this. Cool. And if you've introduced roots and fifths for every chord in your left hand and started with that offset pairs and dancing pairs exercises, you'll have this in your hands, this kind of thing, for whatever progression and beat position you've chosen. Cool, nice one. So, some really exciting opportunities already available to you. What I wanted us to have a look at this week is a new idea. If you have one of the song progressions drawn out in front of you, or the tabs, notation written out, you'll see the series of chords. And I kind of want to open up a new way of thinking that's going to give you a set of options to explore as you go through the song cycle. So imagine you took that tab, that notation, and you sort of marked down every opportunity that you could play a particular note in your left hand. Using this pairs structure, we've got a sort of template that we can inject those note options into, so that's a really good starting point. I'm going to choose note 6 for this, and I suggest for you, if you choose the root note of the first chord at the beginning of your progression, it's going to appear loads in a song that you're playing, and there's going to be loads of opportunities for you to play that particular note. So if it was progression 4, let's say, you could play note 4 loads. Progression 6 I'm going to play note 6 loads. You're just about to see that. If it was progression 1, you could play note 1 loads. So my sort of homework for you today, and I'm going to give you loads of different examples in progression 6. I'm going to run through a few different note options and show you some of the sorts of things that emerge. You get these folk that end up doubling up the note 1s for ages during a song. We're going to be able to do that kind of thing, but all over the instrument, and it's going to open up loads of different, I said creative corners, like by choosing restrictions or by making a focus, it's going to force you to find creative ways to express that in a song. That's what I mean by creative corners. So Where can I play note 6 in this song? I can play it during chord 6, where it's the root. I can play it during chord 4. Chord 4, the root is 4. We've got 5, 6, 7, 1. Note 6 is its third. And I can play it during chord 2 as well. 3, 4, 5, 6. It's the fifth there. So during those three chords, 2, 4, and 6, I can play note 6s. And I'm going to stick with my pairs pattern and see what happens. I'll keep my right hand the same for now. So there's nothing new there. And every time a chord appears that I can play these note 6s, I'm going to play them. So during chord 4s, during chord 2s, and during chord 6s. Let's have a listen. Cool. Instead of low highs, let me play high lows, and you'll hear that sort of emphasis down here. So if I go back into the original pattern here and then pop those 6s in every now and then, we'll hear something like this. Ooh. So maybe not too exciting on the note 6s, but that's a great example to start off with because it's the root of our first chord. What happens if I choose another note? I'm going to go for note 3s, and note 3s is part of our 2-note pattern. Note 3 is the fifth of our root chord, so that's one of our 2 notes. Do you remember the 2-note pattern? It appears in the first, second, third, fourth, fifth chord. Not the 6th chord, it repeats in the 7th chord, but the note that gets played in the 6th chord is a note higher, and that gets played for the last 5 chords. There's an extra finger here, imagine. So we've got that rotationally symmetric pattern. In the download that accompanies this video, you're going to see some little charts. It's a new way of representing the music, just because I love sharing new ways of looking at Mbira music. For each circle that you see in that chart, I've represented where you will find, in which chords you'll find or could potentially play each of the 7 different notes on the scale. So it's twisted around a little bit. So the note at the top, we see a little chart for note 2, and I've shown in a cycle where, oh sorry, not note 2, the second of our first chord, or the name of the progression. Let's say it's progression 1, it would be note 2. If it was progression 6, the second would be note 7. If it was progression 1, the second would be note 2. Progression 2, it would be note 3. Progression 3, it would be note 4, and so on. That one at the top, and we start up here. Our first chord, can we play the note there? Second chord, can we play it there? Third chord, fourth chord, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th. These little circles show you where you can play each note. The way that I've represented them, there's loads of these circles, and down at the bottom we've got the 5th and the 6th, and they'll find that they're sort of mirror images of each other. They slot together. All of the other ones are also mirror images of each other, but there's there's going to be some overlap in some of them or some gaps in other ones. These fifth and the sixth are perfect matches. So let's see what happens if we play note 3 at every opportunity. Or no, not every opportunity. I'm going to chuck it in frequently during the chords where it's a possibility. And then I'm going to do the same for note 4s as well. For note 4s. Let me just get into the pattern. Are you ready? Oh, sorry. So yeah, just playing those notes as often as possible, and exaggerating them as well. So what I want to encourage you to do is pick a note or two neighbouring notes on that circle, and you'll notice that neighbouring notes, there's no overlap between neighbouring notes. They fill the gaps of each other, possibly leaving some more gaps, but you can choose two neighbouring notes to focus on and try and bring them out in your playing. Let me pick another pair of neighbouring notes like note 1 and note 2. So in this instance, note 1 and note 2 are the 6, 7, the 3rd and the 4th. And yeah, I'll pick those notes out when they're possible. I'm going to bounce up to this and bounce up to this one. There is a note 2 down here, there's note 1s around the instrument as well. But for this example's sake, I'll just pick this one and this 2. Cool. So if I try and introduce those sort of repeating 6s, or the repeating 3s and 4s, or the repeating 1s and 2s, now I've sort of built up some articulation with those ideas. I can introduce those into my playing, keeping the right hand the same. So no sort of strict rule there, but I was just exploring the 3s and 4s, 1s and 2s, 6s. You can pick any in any order, and anything that you learn here, you're going to be able to transfer across to the different songs that you play. If you focus on one note at a time or two neighbouring notes, you're going to end up covering all 7 notes In any particular song, there's only 6 of the chords included. So that means that if you play this, you take this approach to any 2 songs, you're going to cover all of the chords and all of the possible notes. So it's a really great exercise in that respect, and it opens things up for you. So check out the download. I think you'll find that fascinating, the symmetry there, the patterns. That really stimulates me. I really like seeing that symmetry, and finding different new ways of looking at the music. We are sticking with just faithful notes, so roots, thirds and fifths for our chords. There are other approaches, but I just wanted to chuck this one in because it's going to force you to start exploring every possible note, root, third and fifth, for every chord, and making each note a focus at some point in your playing. So you're going to end up with new possible flavours coming through. Nice. Also, if you have got stuck playing your pairs in one position, then this might also encourage you to start playing your pairs in like all 3 positions, even though your beat is only in one position. Let's see if I can do that. I'll just sort of go spontaneous and see what comes through. Cool. Also, try and have a look at different regions on the instrument. Here, focusing up here. And you'll start to find things. Nice one. Good luck, everybody. Enjoy working through each note. Bring it out where you're called to, or play at every possible opportunity. Work through all 7 notes in your preferred song structure, the progression, and with your beat in your preferred position. And add that to your artillery and make your playing more powerful. There is some other things that I wanted to include in this week's video, but I thought it's best just to keep it focused and give you a clear exercise so that there's something clear that you can practice. And I'll cover these ideas, some other left-hand ideas, some other left-hand rules in later videos this year. Nice one. Good luck, everybody. Thanks so much and enjoy. Cheers.